Okay, and welcome to this week's Inner Circle call. This week's call and the next few weeks, we've got two themes happening. One is around content. And the second is around your website. A couple of themes coming up in the next few weeks. So today we're going to be looking at the Rapid Recruiter Expert Content Planner. So what is that? Well, for those of you who've applied the content canon, there's two types of content we create. Authority content, which demonstrates we're a subject matter expert, and we've got recruiter content that demonstrates we're an expert in, guess what, recruitment. And what I've seen with some of the content over the last 6 months that's gone out is it doesn't naturally position you and give your prospect, i.e. your client or your candidate, the seed to see you as the expert in recruitment. So what we're doing today is we are going to start to plan out our content that positions you as an expert over the other recruitment companies, the other agencies out there, with content that relates back to guess what, our signature system. So we're going to plan out our content for the next year today, and we're going to sync it all back to our system. So when you have a conversation with a client, when they've actually see what you're doing online, when you have that initial engagement, it all links back to the same model, the same steps. So for example, Johnny is the new dad. Johnny's got a 7-step system. We're going to relate the content back to those 7 steps. So today, we're going to plan out the content for the next 12 months, and we're going to sync it back to your system. So it's really going to give you some awesome intellectual property. So really going to elevate you even further over your competition, and it all syncs back to your client and to your candidate. So it's going to make sense when they read what they're actually, when they read your content online. It's not just going to be content for the sake of it. It's a really good session today. So first off, quite a few of you are on the call today who weren't on the call last week. Type in the box, what's been your big win the last 7 to 14 days? Type in the box. So for me, 2 quick wins that have come in. One is Mitch has got the author of Top Grading as one of his mavens. Sent me an email back end last week, I think it was Mitch. And secondly, I've got an update from Yvonne saying that James, who's been with us less than 24 hours really, has already got his first client on board. So James, if that's the case, I'm not sure, I've got no more information on that. Well done. Let me know how you got that first client. I'm assuming it's based on what we did yesterday. So for me, 2 wins out of you guys. Mitch, wasn't too sure about the Mavens, and he's got the guys written Top Grading. So huge name. Well done, Mitch. And the second win for me, just say this, it's all about implementing quickly, asking for help quickly. And if, James, you've got this client via what we discussed yesterday, you've implemented in less than 24 hours, and that's a really good sign. So let me see, what's been your win in the last 7 or 14 days? What can we scale? So lots of you will now know how this works. So we're going to discuss this on the call. So I want to see what your wins are, but also, if it's not on the call, I'm following up with you after the call about your wins. So it's not just a touchy-feely. I want to see exactly what you're doing, where we should be focusing your time in the next 7 to 14 days. So capital W, what's been your win in the last 7 to 14 days? It might be what's been your lesson from the last week. So what's happened that we don't want to happen again? Or what's happened that we can turn from a lesson into a win? What can we 180? What's been your lesson from the last week or two? Lots of people starting to check in. So if you have just joined the call, I want to know capital W, what's been your big win or a win? And capital L, what's been a lesson for you in the last week or two? David, how you doing? Matthew, my apologies. I'm not being I will name check you now. Sorry, we've had so many people come in. Sorry, Matthew. So John's got 3 names to speak. Good stuff. Casey's got real top candidates on LinkedIn campaigns. That's interesting because Casey and the guys from the same company who are applying LinkedIn's campaign strategy are getting good candidates. So well done, Casey. Interested to see what that means in terms of metrics later on. I've got my wife to become my VA. That's a win. Learn not to rush to the market. With double R. After seeing the recent sessions and actually going through it, I'm reworking this now. Good lesson. Good stuff. Okay. John's got refined the signature system with 2 existing clients and agreed retained business. First time for both clients. Awesome. So that's the signature system, John, has brought on board 2 new clients. Wonderful stuff. Was that with the presentation? I think you went to Salzburg, didn't you, John, to do the presentation? How do you actually deliver that signature system? What did you do, John? Let me know. And today's session is going to really dovetail wonderfully. I think that's quite a few. Well, just off the calls you told me, that's got to be 3 clients you've used signature system in the last couple of months. So let me know how you delivered that. Dan's got his first session going, his first double R going. Very astute, Damien. A lesson on the difference between spending time and investing time in the business. Absolutely. Oh, John, that's interesting. So John's brought on 3 new clients with the signature system. One is face-to-face, one's a presentation, and one's on a webinar. So you've used 3 channels. That's outstanding. Dan needs better data. 3 using the signature system. Good stuff, John. So how many roles is that going to give you? Let me know. Type in the box. So guys, 2 lessons for there out of what's been shared. One is application of what we're showing you. It isn't woo-woo. If we're giving you a set of steps, giving you a template, it's for a reason. It isn't to fill a hole or just to give context. It's there to be applied. And so the lesson for me is James applying and getting results within 24 hours. John's brought in 10 roles and circa 100K from the signature system. So today's going to be relevant to John and for all of you. So if you haven't watched the signature system, it's key because it drives today's session also. So let's get into what we're actually discussing. So we're talking about 2 types of content. For those of you who've not done the content canon yet, the first part of it, there's 2 types of content we want to be disseminating across the interwebs. And it's falls into 2 categories. The first is we've got our authority content, which, as I said, positions you as an expert in the subject matter. So, for example, if you're in Java development, it demonstrates you know your stuff about Java development. You know about the upgrades from Java 7 to 8 and what the challenges were. You know the impact to investment banking, whatever your niche is with Java development. You know about using Scrum processes with Java development. You know about whatever it might be. But expert content is about you as a recruiter. So the authority content, we can pretty much do that with our eyes closed. But what I've seen from being connected to some of you on LinkedIn and what I've seen with you asked me to review, etc., etc., it seems that the expert content, we can make this a bit sharper. And what I want to do is make it an end-to-end process. So as you know, every single week, we're always creating new strategies. We're always testing, and that's how these sessions come about. So today's session is actually going to be linking in with previous sessions. So if you haven't watched these sessions yet, I strongly recommend you go back and watch the Content Canon Part 1. Secondly, I strongly recommend you go back and watch How to Sell Your High Price Signature System, Your High Price Services, Part 1, Part 2. And also the Hot Seat with Johnny. Given John's, it's a different Johnny by the way, given John's update just now, I'm really intrigued to see how John's actually created a presentation that's delivered face-to-face online and is converting into clients. So may well we get John on the call in the future, or John can share his lessons. But if you haven't watched these as yet, as things stand today, I highly recommend you watch the Hot Seat. You watch Part 1 as a minimum and the Content Canon Part 1. But you really should be watching Part 2 of the signature system because it all dovetails today. So what we're dealing with is this. When you create content, you'll have articles created. So it could be simply you've had 50 articles created and you've got articles demonstrating you know your stuff in data science, you know your stuff in whatever your niche is going to be. So it could be digital agencies in the Northeast. It could be fill in the blank, whatever it is. But the expert content, just to recap, is the content that you put out that demonstrates, yeah, I know my stuff about recruitment. So we're talking about the recruitment content. So if you go onto LinkedIn now or go to search on blogs, what you typically get from recruiters is the same old sort of content, isn't it? Well, this is why you must run a 7-step interview process. Why candidates need to be on whatever it's the same thing over and over again. And it's standalone pieces of content. Now, what I want us to do is create content that actually is a seed to your system. And when you structure it across a year, you've got a very powerful tool, and that's what we're going to create today, a content plan for the next 12 months. So you work hard once, then it's done. And what it will do is link as a seed into your signature system, into your services, into your agency delivery. So guys, just want to make sure, are we clear about what we're doing today? We're focusing on recruitment content. So we're not content that says, I'm a sales specialist and I know everything about sales. We're delivering content that demonstrates I am your sales recruiter. I know about the recruitment process. We have a 7-step system, but I'm going to show you how to sexy this up. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, please type in the box right now, because it's really important we get this understanding right now. If you don't type in the box, I'm going to name check you, and I'm going to be sharing photos you've been sending me. Good. And Tana, I won't be sharing your photos, don't worry. Okay, let's get into this. Let's grab a pen and paper. So this is the problem that I've seen, and the problem that I see from recruiters, but also seen internally from some agencies. So the first problem we've got with the content we're creating is it's the same as every other agency. So we're putting out content around recruitment, but there's nothing that really separates us from the noise. So to our prospects, we may have the best system, the best fill in the blank. So every time I speak to a new agency, and I mean literally every time, they say to me, we're different because, and I sit there and think, no, you're not. I hear this every single time. And it's almost telling a parent, your child's ugly, or whatever it might be. You can't say, what you're really thinking at the time, so you do it in a careful manner. And the content that goes out to support your agency, again, it's nothing different. You think it is, but typically it isn't. So what we want to be doing is ensuring we move away from being the same as everyone else. The next problem is a last minute freak out. I need to do content. I know I need to do it. So I'm going to, and out it goes. And we rush it and we get the content out there. And again, it's standalone. It's last minute. We get into that stressful position and we haven't thought strategically. So we want to move away from thinking about creation of content, because once it's out there, it's evergreen. And when you're creating content specifically around your system, it should be evergreen, as we're going to come to. The content we talk about our recruiting, essentially, it sounds like you're selling. This is what we do. We do A, B, C, D, E. And it essentially sounds like you're selling online. And that's not what we want to be doing. We want to be seeding. We want to be dangling. We want to be relating back to our system. The next is this. It goes out there. And you're putting out content because you've been told you need content, and quote the gurus out there and all the blogs, you need content marketing. That's going to be the key driver for you. You get content out there. Guess what? There's no real value to your prospects. They can go and Google this. Remember, we're talking about content, not about you being a subject matter expert. We're talking about your agency. So you all believe you do something different from your competition. You all do. The reason why we create a signature system is to demonstrate the value. We demonstrate how we deliver the candidates, or we demonstrate to the candidates how we get the clients. But typically it's the delivery of the candidates. So if you're just sharing content around the recruitment side, it doesn't really elevate you above the noise. What we end up doing, we make it up as you go. We make up the content as we go. So we know we need to be having some form of recruitment expert content, but we don't really know how to create it. Or we know what we do, but we don't know how to develop into a complete planner, a complete schedule. So we know we've got content now for the next 12 months, and it all relates back to content. So if they click on the link, they come back to your website. They click on another link or another page, or they download your lead magnet, it all fits together. Or if they get into a face-to-face presentation, I remember you talking about this in one of your articles. So your signature system relates to all the seed content that's out in the marketplace. So what we've got is almost a secret under the radar end-to-end funnel that all links back to you, all links back to your signature system. So let me know, type in the box now, what challenges have you had in terms of creating content around the recruitment piece? I don't mean about you being the subject matter expert, because we can do that with our eyes closed, but around you being the recruitment leader. What challenges have you had around this? The photos we get from 123 RF. 123 RF brand, so we get the photos. Okay, James, we want to do, I'm not sure how. Tanner, I'm not sure if I can use that word, but thank you. Any other challenges you've had around actually applying this? Has anyone tried to do this, create recruitment content that positions you above your competition? Dion's been struggling, hey Dion, how you doing, to write content that's different from all the others. Dion, you're actually one of the superstars when it comes to content, as you know. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's do this then. Let's get into the solution. Let's get into actually what we need to be creating to fix this. So first thing I want you to do, rather than write once a month, rather than write once a week, rather than schedule it, etc., on the content canon, the very first part one, we discuss how, as a minimum, try and get 20 pieces of content. And there are members of the group who've used 20 pieces of content, regurgitated the same 20 pieces of content, it's done for 12 months plus. And it's evergreen, they keep using it again and again. The reality is this, for those of you who've been in the group longer, I want you to start thinking about, right, in this 12 months, we've started to bring on board whatever your figures are. We've doubled the business, or we've quadrupled the business. Right, if we want to be going to whatever your figure is, let's start to scale up what we're doing across the business. So what I recommend is this. Do the work once and think about minimum of 12 months. So do the work once and think about a minimum of 12 months. So when we did the content canon, I said, come on guys, do 20 pieces. So get the ghostwriter to write 20 pieces. The reason why, I want you to take action. If I said to you do 80 pieces or 100 pieces, we're going to get paralysis by analysis. But the reality is this, if you plan it out properly once, and we're going to do that right now, and then you have a process to spec out what the content is, and we're going to do that next week. I'm going to give you a model for identifying 3 steps, which you can then pass to the ghostwriter or internally. But if you have that amount of content, you're going to have, well, that's it. That's going to be it for the next year, 2 years plus. And when you automate this, and you've got this amount of, it's going to be a tidal wave of inbound happening once you get that amount out there. So I want you to be thinking about, yeah, okay, we've got some first few strategies up and running. We might have been using whatever you are, whether you're using an automated strategy, whether by you're building a team up. But I want you to be thinking about, right, where do I want to be in 12 months? I want the business to go from 500,000 to 1 million, or I want to go from whatever your metric is. Take the hit once, work hard once, get it done once, and then forget about it. So the solution, plan a year ahead, plan a full year ahead. Take the hit now. So this might be one of the projects for your next 90 days. So one of your 90-day sprints, this could be your project. The content's done. We've got recruitment content. We've got authority content done. The reality is that may well do for the next X amount of years, and it probably will. So we need to plan a year ahead. Next, I want you to seed your system at all times. So when we've got recruiter expert content going out, I don't just want you saying these are the 5 top ways to hire sales specialists with red hair in Louisiana. I want you to be seeding your system. So the logical next step is they click on bottom of the article, they click on a link. Where do they go? Download your lead magnet, download your signature system, go to a video, schedule in a call with you. It all links together. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to link together your signature system with the content. So we want to be creating these subtle, under the radar funnels that are out on the web to other agencies. Why is he writing about that for? We want to link it together. Next, we want to divide and conquer. We want to remove the overwhelm. So we've got a system. So Johnny's got a 7-step system. We've got 7 steps, and in each step we've got 3 different parts to it. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to break down your signature system into its working parts. So remove the overwhelm, divide it up, do it once. Next, We want to get the content into a calendar format. We want to be assessing how are we going to deliver the content, when are we going to deliver the content, and map it out a year ahead. Remove the overwhelm, remove all of that. End of the month, the content's run out. Let's plan a year ahead. Let's divvy up when we're going to be detailing what parts of the system, problem solution, and then we're going to release it like clockwork. So we're either going to be having our assistant or we do it ourselves. Hopefully we're going to be using an automated tool, guys. You're going to be using an automated tool to do it. So it publishes while you're asleep. But we want to make sure we're releasing like clockwork. So what we want to be doing is actually planning out the year ahead. So in terms of those thoughts about a full year, Andy, or signature system, what questions have you got? What ideas have you got? What's going on in your head? What objections have you got subtly that are going on in your mind now? Type in the chat box right now. We sound the same as everyone else. Casey. Rachel, taking the time to actually do it. Absolutely. Mark, I'm not sure what you mean. If you want to reword the question. Okay, everyone on the call, does it make sense? First off, authority content, expert content. We do know what we're talking about, yes or no? Secondly, do we understand what we're trying to do here? We're planning out the entire year and we want to fit and link it back to what our services are. So we don't want to be saying we are the ABC agency we specialize in X, Y, Z. We want to link it back to what you deliver. Does this make sense? Good. Matt, let me just go. Was it part one, Matt? Type in the box, Matt. Was that where you were up to? Dude, Matt's got kicked out. So let me just double check. Okay, so the first thing, Matt, is we want to plan a year ahead. Secondly, we want to seed our content, so our recruitment content, our expert content, seed it back to our actual system. So we're not just creating content as standalone that goes out there and says, yep, you need to have a process to assess your candidates. We want to link it back to the system. And when they read about the system or when you present the system, it all links together. Next, we want to take the overwhelm. We want to divide up the system, divide up the parts of the system, and then create our content around that. Next, we want to create a calendar. So we know that in March, we're going to deliver this content. April, this content. May, this content. So we've got a theme. And then we'll release like clockwork. So your VA will have a plan in place to actually release this. Keith, you can regenerate articles over and over again, and you should be regenerating articles over and over again. Do you alternate between the two? Absolutely, Dan. You should be ideally, if you're brand new into the marketplace, so you've not created content before, you should be going out and creating authority content to start with. But for most of you on the call, you included, Dan, it'd be authority and expert content. Okay, so any other questions around what we're doing here? Type in the box now. I think we've got everyone on point, but do let me know. And then we're going to get into actually making it happen. Hey there, so what do you think about that then? So the intent of that session was really just to let you understand that there are many companies like you in the same position. It's really just to let you understand that I get where you're at. So there's five key problems you might have there that you can relate to. And if you are, I completely empathize with what you are going through right now. But really what I want you to focus on is the outcome to actually turn that around. So I've given you 5 key indicators and 5 key steps you might be able to move forward with. I've not given you templates. I've not given you the how-to. I've not given you the tools. I've not given you the overarching integrated strategy. It's only a quick video. But what we can do is we can jump on an agency growth action plan call, and on that call I will give you the how-to, and I will give you the steps, and I will give you the strategy. So on that call, what we can do is this. Before the call, I want you to just complete a couple of questions for me. So I've got some context. And then on the call, we can do this. If you need clients, I'm going to give you 3 strategies specific to your niche that are going to help you get, not just attract and all that woo-woo, but actually get clients that are going to pay you in the next 30 days. So you actually get clients who are going to pay you. That's inbound clients coming to you saying, Mark, we speak on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Rachel, On Thursday, can we speak at 4 o'clock? Nigel, Monday, can we speak at 7 o'clock? So actually clients coming to you, I'm going to show you how to do that. Number two, if you need candidates, I'm going to give you at least one inbound system, to get candidates. And not just any candidates, but the candidates you need to get paid. So if you're searching on job boards, they're the candidates you cannot place. They're the ones who are open to everyone else in the marketplace. There are those who are actually looking for roles. There are those who have been placed before and have been asked to leave the company. They're not the candidates you want. You want the candidates who are passive, as you know. And the third thing is, whether you're looking for automation, whether you're looking for inbound, whether you're looking for systemization, whether you're looking to scale, go from 100k to 500k, or go from 500k to a million, or whether you're starting up and looking to get to your first 200k, I'm going to give you that momentum. So I'm going to do that on an agency growth action plan. So look below, click the button below, schedule your call. There's just a handful of questions there, literally just a handful. Give me as much information as possible. We're going to get on that call, and then we're going to get into solution mode. So I look forward to speaking to you soon. The places are strictly only for those who are really serious about change. So as you can see, you've only got a handful of appointments there. So click the button below and really think about this. Are you looking to change your business now? Are you looking to really move from the old way of doing things to, yeah, I want inbound? Now, if you go to our website, you can go and check out dozens and dozens of case studies and all sorts of cool tools, strategies, webinars, all that cool stuff. But click the button below, schedule that call before they all go. I think we've got 5-6 appointments left, and then we'll get on to that 15-minute call, and let's knock this out of the park. So let's get on the agency growth action plan call, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.